Okay, so good day everyone. So this is a steam plant overview. So we will explain how steam flows in a steam turbine diagram. So let's check first the color. So the bright red is the superheated steam or dry steam, and then pale red we have the desuperheated steam or wet steam. And then we have pink in here, low pressure and bleed steam. So it's like a steam that is already used. So next we have purple for boil of gas, but we don't have any purple line here in our diagram. Also for yellow LNG liquid. So this on this ship, this is an LNG tanker ship. So the boiler in here uses a boil of gas from LNG. So those boil of gas is not can be used to fuel the boiler. So those are yun lang yung mga singaw or boil off, yung mga singaw lang. So yung singaw na yun yung ginagamit na pangsunog ng boiler para makapag-create siya ng steam. Okay, we have white for nitrogen. So usually walang nitrogen dito sa ating diagram. So this is ang gamit ng nitrogen is siya yung nagpapalamig sa ating LNG, and also it can be used to as protection for the boiler. Okay, blue we have feed and condensate. So tubig na to, nag-condense na yung steam. We have drain line for light blue or blue-green drain line, and what's this color, like a gray or white, gland leak off and vent. So it's like white, so it's leak off or and vent. Okay, so let's start. So first we will go with our feed pump. So maybe it's better if we draw maybe black. Okay, here we have the feed pump, the green one. So in the diagram only one feed pump is shown, but in our system we have two steam driven feed pump. Okay, so steam yung nagpapaikot sa feed pump na to. And then we also have one electric driven na feed pump. Kasi pag wala ka pang steam na naproproduce mula sa boiler, so hindi mo pa pwedeng gamitin itong steam driven na feed pump. So for start up, so sa simula, gagamitin muna natin yung electric driven na feed pump. And then pag nakapag-produce na tayo ng steam, dun pa lang natin itong magagamit itong feed pump na steam driven. Pero sa diagram, since isa lang feed pump, ito na yon. So either yung steam ba to or electric driven. Okay. So after the feed pump, water flows, the feed water flows to the boiler. And then it is heated up hanggang sa kumulo siya. Pag kulo niya, aangat siya sa taas ng boiler. And then after sa boiler, dadaan ito ng first, dadaan muna pala ito ng economizer. Economizer. And then papasok sa loob ng boiler. Pag na-start na yung boiler, aapoy na yung boiler. So pag apoy ng boiler, maglalabas na ng steam. Pupunta ito sa control desuperheater. So after sa control desuperheater, dyan, pasok ulit. So lalo siyang kukulo. So magiging superheated siya ngayon. Paglabas dyan, magiging superheated steam siya. Okay? And then meron din namang steam na dadaan ulit dito and then magiging siyang superheated steam. Okay, so magsisimula muna tayo sa ating superheated steam. Itong pulang-pula na to. So itong superheated steam natin, so it is used to start the high pressure turbine. Yung main line natin, ito yung main steam line. So it will help to run the high pressure turbine, and then it will also go to the low pressure turbine. So the low pressure turbine will also run, and then the used steam will now go to our main condenser. Okay, so that is our main condenser. So the main condenser is also used as a freshwater generator or distiller. So we have a vacuum pump to lower down the pressure inside the main condenser. So if you lower down the pressure, so the boiling temperature of the seawater, so meron ding seawater na pumapasok dyan. So the boiling water will go down. Since the pressure is lower, then the boiling temperature will also go down. So pag kumulo siya, makapag-create na siya ng fresh water, and then the fresh water will go to the freshwater tank, pero nasa separate yan na linyada, wala dito. Okay, so after the main condenser, yung ating steam dito na galing sa low pressure turbine is lalamig yan, and then condense, and then dadaan siya ng ating constant pump. So yung tubig na yon dadaan, so from main condenser or distiller, so dadaan siya ng gland condenser, and then dadaan siya, ito yung gland condenser, and then dadaan siya ng low pressure feed heater. Ito, low pressure feed heater, and then dadaan siya ng atmospheric drain line. Yun, atmospheric drain line, and then pupunta ng deaerator. I-separate natin yung air, at pag tubig na lang natira, hihigupin ulit yung tubig ng ating feed pump. Okay, that's how steam, water from the feed pump is turned to steam, turned to superheated steam, and then go back, converts the superheated steam, converts its energy into rotational energy from the HP turbine or mechanical energy, and low pressure turbine, and then after that the steam will go to the main condenser, cool down, and then the condensate goes using a pump, it goes to the gland condenser, the low pressure feed heater, and atmospheric drain line, and then to the aerator. So that's how it goes. Okay, let's continue with the superheated line. So the superheated line can also be used to start one or two generators. So this is a turbo generator. The rotation of the turbine is used to create electricity on the generator side. So you run both generator, and then you synchronize them so that you can have power from our give power to the ship. But also in the diagram we only have here two turbo generator, but on the ship we also have diesel generators. If ever that we still don't have steam, we can still have electricity on our ship. Okay, and then the used steam or the low pressure steam after the turbine goes back to our main condenser. Okay, and also a part of it goes to the atmospheric condenser, and then from the atmospheric condenser or from the main condenser also going to the steam dump. Oops, so this is separate. Let's erase this one. This is a separate line, so it's on the other way around. Okay, so from here pala yan papunta doon, hindi pabaliktad, sorry. Okay, going to the atmospheric condenser and then going to our drain tank here. Okay, now so we're done with the main steam line or the superheated steam line. So we will go now to the superheated steam. So this one. So the superheated steam. So we can use the superheated steam for our soot blowers. So if you have two boilers, so you also have two soot blowers. So soot blower is used to clean the boiler tubes from soot from the combustion. Okay, and then the superheated line, we can also use this line to fill if ever there are too much pressure or too much steam production. So we can use this line going to the steam dumping system. So in the steam dumping system, since we dump the steam and there will be a possible noise that will be happening, water hammering. So in the steam dump line, we have a silencer in here and a cooler. And then going back to the condenser or to the atmospheric condenser. So main condenser or atmospheric condenser, they can use both. You can use the both lines for the atmospheric condenser and the main condenser. Okay, so another line in here, another line from the superheated line, we give pressure to our low pressure steam generator. So there is steam going to the low pressure steam generator and then going back to the deaerator as a drain. Okay, also from the high pressure turbine, there is a superheated line going to the low pressure steam generator. And also you can use this line. So if there is low pressure in here in the turbine, we can also use this one going back to the deaerator. Or going back into this one. So this is the atmospheric drain line. Atmospheric drain line. And then those steam from here will condense because there is a condensed water flowing in here. So it will condense going back to the atmospheric drain tank. And then from the atmospheric drain tank, we have a motor driven pump that will supply the water back to the aerator also. So this is the back pressure line. Okay, if you open this back pressure line, you can use this to reheat as a cooler going back to the atmospheric drain line, atmospheric heater. So there are so many lines in here. You can also use this line going back to the condenser, like that. Okay, so that's how it is. And then, oops, so there is still one superheated line in here, the small red one, this one. So there is also a small superheated line going to the feed pump, so that the steam driven feed pump will run. If the steam driven feed water pump will run, so we can already stop the motor driven feed water pump, and then the steam will make the pump run, and then the feed water will be pumped into the boiler. And the return line or drain line goes back to the main condenser, or you can put it directly to the aerator. Okay. We also have here another freshwater generator, also known as a distiller also. So a part of the pressure from the low pressure turbine, so this steam will be cooled down by the seawater, and it goes back to the atmospheric drain tank. And then if there are some steam left in the distiller, so those steam will go to our gland condenser. Oops, so seawater is boiled in this distiller because of this superheated steam, and then the steam produced during the boiling of water goes to the gland condenser, and then it will be cooled down and become water again, going to the freshwater distiller or distiller condenser, this one. So this freshwater can be used for our ship, for the boiler, or for whatever purpose you want to use it. Okay, so far we've done all on this side. So in here, going back in here, there is a desuperheated steam going to the low pressure steam generator. So this low pressure steam generator is boiled. The water in here coming from this feed water tank, the water going using this pump, the water going to the low pressure steam generator is boiled using this superheated line. Okay, so if that water will boil now, it will be converted to steam, and those steam will be used. So this is a low pressure steam, so it's like a boiler, but it is not using any combustion. It is just using the desuperheated steam from the boiler. So the steam in here is the one that is creating steam on the water side. So the heat of this steam will make the water in here boil, and then you will be creating a low pressure steam. So those low pressure steam is used for boiler, for heating the fuel oil for the boiler, FO heating. Also, it is used for tank heating, for the fuel oil tanks or any other tanks that you will be using heating. Also for the accommodation, heating the accommodation. So it is also a heater for the boil of gas from the LNG products, and also heating for the LNG vaporizer. So since LNG is cooled down to a very low temperature to make it to maintain its liquid form, so we need to heat it up to create vaporizer, and then those vapor will become boil of gas, and those boil of gas must be heated to para mas madali na lang siyang sunugin. Okay, and then after that, the steam will become drain or lower pressure steam, much lower. So it will become a drain, and it will become back to water, and then it will go to the feed water tank. So if ever you will be lacking water, so we can use the make up water if ever na magkulang yung tubig mo. Okay, so that's how the overview of our steam plant. So that's how the steam is converted to water is converted to steam and is used in a steam plant with a steam turbine. Okay, so this diagram is from Kongsberg with SP dual fuel engine. So I hope you learned something today, and please do subscribe, like, and share our video, and see you on our next video. Thank you, and God bless everyone.